Yeah, this is where the... This is where the road gets a little narrow. Hello and welcome back to Season 10 in SnowRunner once again, and today is going to be a really fun day because we brought an absolute monster out of retirement for this one. This truck is, of course, the iX 3880, and if you haven't used this truck before, which is unlikely because this truck has well over 1 million total downloads, I think, at this point. If you haven't used it before, make sure you check it out. There'll be a link in the comments down below, and it should also be available on your console mod browser. Now, what our task is today is we have to go over to the warehouse, we have to pick up a giant section of pipe, and we actually have to deliver it to the pipeline way up in the mountains, so it should definitely be a well-suited job for a rig like this. And also, I missed this thing. I missed using this truck so much, and the trailer we're using is actually a vanilla game high saddle 5-slot wide off-road trailer. So let's go ahead and cross over the water and pick up this section of pipe. This is gonna be quite the adventure, I think. This is gonna be an adventure unlike adventures we've had before. At least, I think it is. I haven't taken it yet, so I'm not speaking from experience of this particular adventure, but you never know. We'll see. So we are using a slightly above vanilla engine and a slightly above vanilla transmission. We're not using the maxed out setup. If we were using the maxed out setup, this thing, trust me, you would know. This thing is an absolute menace with the maxed out setup. Don't get me wrong, I love using it, but for this one, I wanted a slightly tamer performance setup. So let's make our way around this corner. We are not gonna make it, but that's fine. We can reverse just a hair and ease it back. I'm trying not to get the trailer caught. I'm also trying to be mindful of how long the wheelbase on this thing is. All right, let's pull you around. The trailer's gonna barely rub against that fence, but again, I'm not gonna worry too much about it. We should be able to load up the pipe. So let's see. Large pipe. Yep, there it is. Make sure that that's what we need. Large pipe times 1, delivered to the pipeline, and boom. All right, we're gonna go ahead and take a quick photo of this just to, you know, text it to the people up there and let them know that we've got their piece of the pipeline. We've got it under control. It's all gonna be a-okay now that we've got this thing picked up. So we should be good to go as soon as I get one more picture that I'm happy with, because I wasn't happy with the first one, and I'm really picky when it comes to that stuff. And now we're good to go, and we can head on out. And oh yeah, this thing has a train horn, just in case you weren't aware. Again, most of y'all watching probably are aware of what this thing has already, but just on the off chance that someone is not aware of the absolute... Ow. Well, that's depressing. You know, we're gonna stop by the garage on the way back, but this is also a really sick photo, and so we're gonna take it, even though, yes, the front end is banged up. But you know what? We're not going to worry about the front end right now because the garage is on the other side of the water, and we're gonna drive over there, pop into the garage, get the body damage fixed, and then make our way up into the mountains. I'm just mad that we actually ended up picking up body damage so early on into the adventure. So we're going to actually drop the trailer right here. We're going to go into the garage, get our body damage fixed. We're going to leave the garage, go around to the other side of the building, back up, hook up the trailer again, and be on our way into the mountains. Did you follow all that? Good, because there's more where that came from. Oh, hi, tractor. I guess they haven't come to pick you up yet, huh? Sad. Sad day. We might actually end up absorbing that tractor into our own fleet after all, I guess. All right, let's get backed up real quick, get this trailer picked up, and then we can finally head off into the mountains. This had a little bit more of a startup process than I thought it was gonna have. It wasn't bad. It was just like one of those things where I was like, we took a few extra steps, especially a few more than I feel like we needed to, but it's fine. It's all good. It has nothing to do with the fact that I hit a post. Don't worry about that. That's fine. We'll sort that out at a later date. I don't do that very often. Well, says the one that runs into things in this game all the time. But don't listen to me. Take the evidence for example. Yeah, evidence of me running into a lot of things over all of the years of me playing SnowRunner and MudRunner and Spin Tires. So, like, everything in this series, yeah. Wow, I'm not really making a very good case for myself not running into things in this game, am I? It'll be fine. Send it. Uh-oh. Trailer's getting a little caught up. That's fine. It's totally fine. Don't worry about it. Yeah, this is where the... Uh-oh. This is where the road gets a little narrow. It's not actually what I was originally going to say. What I was going to say was that this is the part where grade becomes a consideration, because even in high range, this thing is... we're not moving very fast. This is, like, planted in high. This is on the floor. And it's moving, don't get me wrong, but, oh, that's a sick shot, though. I know I've taken so many photos so far on this adventure, but don't worry about it. That was a photo worth taking, absolutely. And look at how massive that trailer is in comparison to the pipe section. I'm kind of glad that we went with a trailer that was that wide, though, because that's going to greatly help prevent us from rolling over. And preventing rollovers is always a top-tier thing. Always, always, always a top-tier thing. All right, back in automatic mode. Seems like high range in this transmission is about the equivalent of maybe 5th or so out of the 8 usable gears. So you can get a little bit more speed out of driving it in automatic mode. The only thing is you have to kind of strategize where you're going to actually use automatic mode. Because if you use it in the wrong place, it can slow you down a lot and send you back down to like 1st or 2nd when you could have been cruising in high, which would have been the equivalent of like, 4th or 5th. So you got to kind of strategize where you use it. So here is where things get a little intense. And again, this is foot on the floor in high range. I don't know how long we're going to be able to keep that up, but so far we're just cruising. It's a fairly slow-paced cruise, but it is intentional, and it's definitely getting the job done. It's not so fast that we have to worry about damaging anything, but it is definitely fast enough that we got to be on our game for sure. This trailer was not meant for roads this narrow. Not whatsoever. Should we let the surrounding wildlife know that we're on our way through? Well, now everything for like 5 miles around knows that we're on our way through. Oh, there goes a bird. All right, cool. How's this from inside? Oh, God. Hi, Beans. It's a little bumpy in here, isn't it? Beans is nodding, yes. Yes, Beans is nodding that it's very, very bumpy in there. It's actually more than very bumpy. It's insanely bumpy. But we're still making progress. We're still just rolling. It's not, again, it's not a massive blistering pace, but it is getting the job done, and it's getting it done fairly well. We're going to end up kind of skimming the edge of that tree. That's fine. Beautiful, beautiful view from up here. Absolutely gorgeous view. The tires we're running are not OP either, in case you were wondering. They are the SE designated tires, which is the sort of halfway point between vanilla grip and OP grip. Your SE grip is going to kind of be, again, you're in between. A little bit better than vanilla tires, but not quite overpowered, as it were. But then again, you have people out there that will say, well, anything that's more than vanilla grip is overpowered. So, decide amongst yourselves whether or not SE grip level is overpowered or not. You have the freedom to choose that for yourselves, as does really anybody that builds a truck in this game. If you don't like the setup on someone's truck and you think it's too overpowered and no one should ever use that, well, good news for you. You have the freedom to build it the way you would build it. Just as they have the freedom to build it in a way that you think is too overpowered. Remember that. Wow, it's almost like Beans didn't check the defroster as part of the pre-trip. Shame on you, Beans. Jeez. All right. Back to it, and we should be getting fairly close now. We also built a log bridge down here that I'm very happy we did build, because without that, we would have had to go over either a really sketchy twisted bridge, or we would have had to try to, find a side route through the creek and through the mud or through the swamp. It just wouldn't have been a great deal for anybody involved, and so I decided that it would definitely be worth it to bring the one load of medium logs out here that it took to build that, and it turned out, it turned out to be totally worth it. I mean, I'm super glad that we did that. I mean, look at how useful that is. It's so useful. It's so useful, especially, we would have had to drive over that otherwise. And I feel like this setup would not have been a fan of the other option. I feel like option 2 was not really something that either the truck, the trailer, or the cargo, or me, for that matter, or Beans, would have enjoyed. Should be coming up just over this little crest now, though. There's one of the factories. Oh yeah, and this should actually open up a really useful kind of transport artery so that we don't have to go all the way around the mountain again to get to stuff on the other side of this pipeline. Because that was a huge issue before, if you remember the haul that we did with the 8-unit semi-trailer and the Mack Defense. That was not a route that I wish to do again, especially not with a trailer that long. Y'all ready? Because boom, there's your large pipe. Oh yeah, beautiful. Just what we needed to complete the construction. Let's go. And then really from here on, oh hey, speaking of the Mack Defense, there it is. But from here on out, we have a fully open route from basically the garage all the way up to the mountains, over this river, and under the pipeline. So now we can start handling all of the stuff out here. So that's going to do it for this episode of the Season 10 DLC, though. And if you enjoyed this video, let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments. Hit that like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you are new and you would like to stay up to date. But that's going to do it for this one, y'all, and I'll see y'all next time.